Hello my beautiful Voidian children, this is take 3 of this video. I have been trying to record it for a while. The first one didn't end up right, the second one randomly stopped recording. Andy, I swear to fuck, you are fine out there. He is mad because he cannot get into the room with me because the fan is in the way. And yes, I apologize for the fan. It will be on in the background the entire time because this house gets hot otherwise, and I don't want to be sweating the entire video. Sorry, I am very sick, so I probably sound awful right now, and I am a little out of breath, and I'm very emotional. But here I am, and I'm going to clear up this video that this woman made.
Women who choose abusers over their children. Trigger warning, this video is about child abuse and neglect. So Jennifer Dill appeared on the Dr. Phil show after she and her husband Joseph were charged with criminal child abuse and neglect. They were charged after their 10-year-old son Dominic died in their care. Jennifer was a nurse and she worked crazy hours. Joseph did not work and barely kept a job. In July of 2000.
Okay. That's the first part. They were charged with neglect. Charges were dropped because it was proven that they didn't neglect Dom, that we actually took him to the hospital. Second thing, yes, my mom works the nurse. She is correct about that. But my dad couldn't barely keep a job. He was a stay-at-home dad. He was what you call a Mr. Mom. He stayed home with the kids while my mom worked. He was not a deadbeat without a job. He just was a Mr. Mom.
10-year-old Dominic complained to his parents that he was in severe pain. His parents finally took him to the doctor, where the doctor found a few small fractures. The doctor could not determine where these fractures came from. And of course, Joseph and Jennifer did not tell them. Their older daughter later claimed these fractures may have came from the abuse. So a doctor wrote a
Okay, so we're going to continue this. She says, finally, as if they ignored his pain. No. As soon as my brother started complaining, he was taken to a doctor. Yes, the doctor identified a few minor fractures. But my mom knew it was something worse because my brother has gotten himself hurt many a times before and he has never asked to go to the doctor. He has been fine. He was a tough, rough-headed kid. Okay? So my mom knew something else was wrong. And listen, yes, my sister said it might have been from the abuse. This was something they added for the Dr. Phil episode. This is something they told her to say to make it more dramatic. This is what happened. My dad, yes, he used to drink and he was a little more abusive when he drank. But he had sobered up after I was born and we did not see that side of him. He had never given Dom any fractures before. Another reason why I know the fractures did not come from my father. I was there when it happened. I am like this with my brother, or at least I was. We were practically tied to the hip. People thought we were twins because we were so close in age and looked so much alike and we were always together. I was there when he did his little stunt to break or fracture these bones. In fact, I fractured my own bones at some point doing the stupid things and ideas that he would suggest when we would hang out. So no, this was not from the abuse. This was just from his own silly, reckless behavior because we were kids and we were outside all the time.
For pain medication and told the parents to bring their child back for a follow-up visit. A couple of days go by. Jennifer said that Dominic was once again complaining that he was in pain from his neck down to his stomach. So instead of taking Dominic back to the doctor or to the ER, Jennifer goes to work, leaving Dominic at home with his father. Joseph notices that Dominic has some discoloration. Child's hue is turning purple. He has slight purple and blue spots appearing on his body. But Joseph does not call Jennifer or 911. He puts Dominic to bed. Jennifer arrives home from work around 8:30 the next morning. She finds Dominic completely covered in bluish purple spots. Dominic is very pale and very weak. He cannot move on his own. So instead of calling 911, Jennifer decides to go change her clothes and take a shower. She comes out and tells Joseph.
Pause. So here are the events of what happened the night he died. He was getting worse. despite the fact that we had taken to multiple hospitals multiple different times, and my mom tried to explain to them that they needed to check for sepsis because my sister at one point had sepsis and survived because the doctors actually did something about it. Back then, in 2015, sepsis was not well known at all. And my theory on why the doctors didn't listen to my mom, because yes, I know my mom was fighting for them to check for this because I heard all of it. I could hear her argue with the doctors, is because she's a nurse and because she's a woman. Not all doctors are this way, but there are a majority of doctors that look down on nurses and women because they think they are better than them and they do not listen to the things that they say. This is just my theory on why the doctors wouldn't listen to my mother. But yes, despite the Dr. Phil episode, what the Dr. Phil episode says and what this woman believes from the Dr. Phil episode, instead of getting true facts, instead of taking all of her facts off of a dramatic show of a guy who's not even a real doctor, my mom actually did try to save my little brother's life multiple times. Now, as for the night that he died, he was complaining of pain this night. But we had I believe we had one vehicle at this point. My mom was at work because she worked her ass off for us. My little brother, he was fine at first, but when my mom got home, he wasn't doing so hot. My dad was helping him while my mom took a quick shower because you don't want to bring all that stuff from the hospital home and get all that all over your kids and everything. So my brother, he tells my dad, he's like, hey, I want to take an Epsom salt bath. And you may be wondering, why did my dad choose to do this instead of taking him to the hospital? Well, my little brother was a smart kid, and he knew what he wanted, and my dad trusted him. And yes, I know that's probably not really the best opinion, but he let him take his Epsom salt bath. I'm going to let this continue. The dogs are mad because they can't get in here because of the van.
We need to take him to the doctor, but Joseph says Dominic is clear-minded and he wants to take an Epsom salt bath right now because he was in so much pain. Dominic is so weak, it takes both parents to get him into the tub. While he's in the tub, Jennifer and Joseph decide to lay down and take a nap. Dominic is done. Joseph takes him out of the tub and sits him in a big chair. Joseph attempted to dress Dominic, but it was a huge struggle.
Okay. First of all, my mom was the only one that took a nap because she had just gotten home from a 12-hour night shift. My dad and I both were there to supervise my brother while he was in the tub. Yes, my dad got him out of the tub, he didn't put him in a big chair. Okay, yes, I know this is nitpicking, but it was just a regular metal folded chair, which nicely enough his class painted for us, which was so sweet. Even though they bullied the hell out of him when he did go. Indy, you cannot be back here. Indy! Give me just a second. Okay, I think they're done barking. Anyway, as I was saying, he put him in this metal chair and he was trying to get him dressed to take him to the hospital. I don't know if my parents noticed I was there through all the chaos, but I was there for the whole entire thing. All of it. I saw every last little detail. And he looks at my dad and he says, Dad, I'm tired. And that's when he left. That's when he went. And we're going to play this.
Because Dominic was so weak. Child was so weak he could not dress himself. So Dominic asked if he could rest for a minute as he was getting more and more tired. Jennifer was still sleeping and Joseph decided to give Dominic a minute to rest. So Joseph decides to go make himself a cup of coffee instead of monitoring his son's rapidly declining health. When Joseph got back to the room, he found Dominic was gasping for breath. Dominic was in what's called the death rattles. His eyes were crossed, and he was clearly in critical need at this point of medical care. Joseph screams at Jennifer to wake up because Dominic is dying. While Jennifer starts doing CPR, Joseph claims he's calling 911, but for some reason the phone isn't working.
Okay, here are we gonna go to next. She says that he was in the death rattle. That is not what happened. As soon as he told Dad he was tired, he was gone. God called to him. And you guys may not be religious, but I felt it. I was there. I could feel it. That he was ready. It was his time. God was telling him it was time for him to go home. And as soon as he told Dad that, he was gone. My dad quickly woke up my mom, and my mom immediately started CPR, which could be pointless because, as I said before, I could feel it. I was there. He was already gone. My dad tried to call 911. We lived in DFE. The call was not wanting to go through. And I know for a fact that this is the truth because I have tried to call 911 there before, and the call doesn't like to go through because it in BFE. If you hear the rumor that you can call 911 even when there's no service, that is incorrect. The horror movies are correct. 911 doesn't work if you don't have any service whatsoever, and we rarely had any service where we lived because we lived deep in the mountains. My mom's doing CPR, my dad's trying to call 911. I'm watching this entire thing. And in my mind, I know what she's doing is pointless because I know he is already gone. He told me. And you guys may not believe me, you may not be spiritual, religious like I am, but he told me he was going home. I ran out to the barn to grab my sister because that's the only really thing I knew how to do because I was only 11 years old. I didn't know what to do. The only words that came out of my mouth were "Dom's dead." My sister didn't even hesitate because at the time I knew he was gone. My sister didn't even hesitate. She comes back with me to the house after I said that. Let's continue the video.
He tells Joseph that she's just so tired they need to switch places. She'll get on the phone while he gives CPR. Ambulance arrives and medics start compressions, but Dom flatlined. Unfortunately, it was too late and he died at Cumberland County Hospital. He died of an hydrocodone overdose due to sepsis. Because he's underage, we can't access his autopsy report. We have to go by what the Dr. Phil show found, what Jennifer and Joseph said. Now get this, Dominic is not their only child that died under suspicious circumstances. He also had...
Pause. My dad did not know how to do CPR. Yes, that is something important for a parent to know. But guess what? My sister did know how to do CPR because as a nurse, my mother taught us all how to do it. My sister gives my mom a break and starts doing the CPR on my brother. The call goes through, the medics get there, they continue, they take him to the hospital. He's DOA because, like I said, he was dead as soon as he told Dad he was tired. This is the 100% truth of what happened, and everything in this video, only bits and pieces of it's correct. What she knows is based on the Dr. Phil show. Dr. Phil is not even a real certified doctor. He is just a man who acts like he is better than everybody else because he's narcissistic, he's famous, and he likes to get the views. AKA, all that was dramatized, and the things that they were told to say on the show were scripted, and he kept manipulating my mother throughout the entire thing and making it sound like she was a villain and that she didn't try to do anything to save my brother when this is in fact not the case. I know because I was there. We're gonna continue this video.
A 2-month-old baby named Ezekiel. That baby was also left alone at home with Joseph. Joseph claimed he woke up and the baby just died of sin. Joseph claimed he was not under the influence of alcohol or drugs the day the baby died. But his daughter says that's a lie and that he severely physically abused every child in that home. Jennifer admitted she thinks her husband has something to do with their deaths. Jennifer is fighting to get Joseph released from prison. Women who choose abusers over their children.
Okay, let us continue. First of all, no. Yes, my mother bailed my father out of jail during that time. Yes, we were in foster care, and they told her to choose between us and him. Yes, we went to live with our aunt for a while. And about Ezekiel, like I said, Ezekiel, which keep his name out your mouth, you don't know him, he was only 3 months old, not 2, get your facts straight. Yes, I know, that is a little bit of a nitpicking, but it's crazy how much information she gets wrong in this video, and this is why I'm making this video for you guys, so that we know the truth, the 100% truth. Ezekiel was 3 months old, and he stopped breathing in his sleep. in a hotel room, because we live in a lot of hotel rooms, because my mom, instead of leaving us somewhere, she was a travel nurse and she'd just take us with her because travel nurses got paid more. So there were times where we did sleep in hotels. That is when Ezekiel died. He was 3 months old. I know because he died right before my birthday, and he was born in January and I was born in March. I was literally about to turn 3 when he died. Now, I don't remember that, but this is what I know from what I was told. And my dad did not drink alcohol after I was born. And if I was 3 by that point, obviously he's not under the influence if he stopped drinking after I was born. That is just false information completely. No. I'm sorry, I'm getting very emotional. I need to clear my head. Now, you may be thinking I may be misremembering things because of the traumatic event. No. When you see something this traumatic, it sticks with you for the rest of your life, and you know what you saw is real. My little brother knew it was his time to go. He knew God was calling to him. He knew he was not supposed to live on this earth any longer. And my dad knew too, the moment he told him that he was tired. The Dr. Phil show gives lots of misinformation to make the story more dramatic. Her video, and I'm sure she didn't mean any harm by it, but it needs to be taken down because most of the information she gets is from a show that spread a lot of misinformation about my brother's story. And I need her to take it down because of this specific fact. And the people in the comments defending her and telling us we're wrong, because yes, we commented and asked her to take the video down. She has ignored us. She's ignored our DMs. She hasn't ignored our comments. She's ignored the videos I've made, and she still has not taken the video down. Respectfully, Lily, I would please like you to take the video down because yes, as I said, this is misinformation. And TikTok, no matter how many times you report it for misinformation, says that it is correct. I believe this is important information for you all to know, and I know this is private information, but as I said, it's already out here from her perspective and from Dr. Phil's perspective. So I say, instead of looking at someone's video who was never even there, please think and listen to the perspective of someone who saw every second of what happened, the entire thing, the entire truth. And please help me get this video taken down by Lily. Thank you so much for spending time watching this video with me, and I am so sorry this video went on for so long and that I have been rambling. I love every single one of you for supporting my channel, and I know this is very different from what you guys are used to, but I am so happy for all of you guys watching my channel, and I thank you so much for all your support, and I thank you for taking the time to sit down and hear me out. And I do hope that this video picks up and gets some attention so that this video gets taken down. I love you, my beautiful guardian children, and I'm sorry this was a sad video, but I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.